Alrighty, welcome back. This is the first long form video that I'll be posting. I'm going to be giving you a run through of each hybrid, starting with the very first one. The base gene was Titanoboa, which was an extinct species of snake that was over 45 feet long and weighed about 1.5 tons. And here's what was added to this hybrid. Gliding snake, Mexican mole lizard, alligator gar, hagfish, honey badger, Komodo dragon, monocle cobra, spitting cobra, blue-ringed octopus, black mamba, stingray, and wolverine. I started with the mouth. I added the fangs from a venomous snake, which has all of the venoms of these venomous snakes that I added to create a very toxic concoction. It also has venomous saliva thanks to the Komodo dragon and the blue-ringed octopus as well. It also has canine teeth, as exhibited right here, from the honey badger and the wolverine. And this is a brief example of how venom glands work in snakes. They are located toward the back of the head, right behind the eye, and they distribute the venom through the fangs. Next, I worked on the skin, which the skin is based as alligator gar scales. For the armor, it also has chromatophores from the blue-ring octopus, allowing it to change its color and texture to match its environment seamlessly. It also has hagfish slime glands to produce a slime defense that would cause the predator to choke on it and probably die. And here's an example of the dermis and the existing layers as well. Next, I added the forelimbs of the Mexican mole lizard to the front of it, allowing it to be more maneuverable on land, and also give it the ability to dig underground. I added the Komodo dragon genes as well to make the forelimbs stronger, because I don't think it would have very strong forelimbs if they look like that. Also, it has longer claws thanks to the wolverine, and they are semi-retractable as well. And then, just for fun, I also added a stingray's barb at the end of its tail, which has a venom gland at the base of it to inject all those venoms that I mentioned earlier. And the end result was Titanus venomous, or as I like to call him, Ted. He is 45 feet long, weighs approximately 1.25 tons, and he obviously has a stinger. I call him the marine of hybrids, because he is an all-terrain vehicle. He can swim, he can climb, he can crawl across the ground. He can even glide if he so chose to, thanks to the gliding snake event. Yeah. And then I was presented with the idea from my brother to make a living tank. So I got started. I began with the base genome, Stupendimus geographicus, which roughly translates to stupendous turtle. One of the largest freshwater turtles ever discovered, with a shell length of 11 feet and an overall skeletal length of 13 feet from tip of its nose all the way to the tip of its tail, and its shell was about 3 feet thick, and it could extend its head up to 6 feet tall, and its shell was over 4.5 feet wide. But I also added common snapping turtle because it's one of the closest living relatives, aside from the Amazon river turtle, which I could have added that, but chose common snapping turtle for various reasons. And then he wanted it to be able to headbutt things, so I added Pachycephalosaurus to reinforce that skull, and also to its vertebrae in its neck aligned just perfectly, so that way it becomes a battering ram. And it can break bones, and also, if it were it could break concrete. Then I began work on the front limbs, which I added pangolin DNA, which gave it these robust claws capable of in real life, pangolins are capable of breaking through concrete. And also I got to work on the skin, which he wanted arapaima scales, giant Pacific octopus chromatophores, and Komodo dragon osteoderms. Thus, it is able to change color and texture and blend into its environment seamlessly. Also, it has a higher protection, adding to the tank factor. He also wanted me to add Komodo dragon teeth and honey badger teeth, and the unique iron deposit trait given by the Komodo dragon. He wanted that enhanced into claws and everything else, and also its beak. Then I got to work on the shell. This is where the ankylosaur DNA comes in. It increases the density of the of the shell, and also the pangolin DNA adds the scales from its armor to the shell to make it even more dense, but also lightweight. And he wanted it to be able to be a biped and a quadruped, able to go on all fours and stand upright. So I added iguanodon DNA, which would give it the proper leg strength to be able to stand upright and walk. Well, it can run like this, but it can still go on all fours. And I went ahead and did a brief picture of Stupendimus geographicus, what it was thought to look like, and might I say, it was quite the stupendous turtle. Its name is very fitting. And our chief geneticist kind of failed in the first attempt to create this hybrid, and thus Gerald was born. I call him Stupendimus ridiculus because he's stupendously ridiculous looking. He's able to stand on his hind feet. He's not able to go on all fours. And he's also bipolar, but he is still quite the force to be reckoned with. And the end result, Stupendimus tankicus, aka Jeff, able to go on all fours and able to stand upright, break through concrete, club tail from the ankylosaurus to be able to batter its enemies, and that skull in order to batter its enemies as well. Truly a living tank capable of tremendous things. And finally, we get to the main event, the one that I've been hinting at all week. I give you the one that my other brother gave me the idea for. He wanted the base gene to be Megalania, which is a larger version of a Komodo dragon, thought very much extinct. The largest skeleton ever discovered was 23 feet in length, and thus that was the base genome. I based it off the Komodo dragon because that's the closest living relative in terms of appearance. He wanted 14 venomous snakes. These are some of the most venomous snakes in the world, and thus added the two fangs there dripping with venom. He also wanted to add moray eel, which I did. It has a second set of jaws deep in its throat, so whenever it bites on its prey, this lunges forward to be able to get the prey. And he wanted me to add shark teeth, which is a fine addition to it. And I got to work on its claws, which its front claws are reminiscent of the Komodo dragon. Scales as well. He wanted me to work on the skin, so I based the skin primarily off of saltwater crocodile. That's another contributor that was added. And also within the skin is mimic octopus and giant Pacific octopus chromatophores, allowing it to change color and texture and even be able to mimic other creatures. And I also added a stingray bar because, why not? It's a very good thing, and it concentrates those venoms that were mentioned before. Also, this creature has spitting cobra venom. Spitting cobra, able to spit its venom at victims. And once again, our top geneticists tried to make the creature the first time. When they added the stingray, it ultimately made it fully aquatic. It's not able to go on land, but is quite a formidable swimming creature. A length of over 26 feet, but it is highly formidable as well. This one's name is Matt, for various reasons. And then we get to the one that actually did succeed. This is Megalania Ultima. I call him Bruce. He also had, I forgot to mention this, but he has chameleon DNA, which gives him that large crest reminiscent of a crown. He also has pterodactyl claws, feet able to grip onto branches, a long prehensile tail with that 18-inch barb at the end of it. He also gets his overall length of 26 feet from the anaconda, able to change color and texture to match his environment seamlessly. He is 26 feet in length, 4,500 pounds, capable of top speeds by slithering up to 26 miles per hour, and a running speed of 20 miles per hour. Truly a force to be reckoned with, and by far one of my favorite hybrids thus far.